Alright, first question. Simplify. We're going to collect like terms. These are all x's, so that means I can collect like terms or combine them. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, there's 5 of them. 5x. Not x to the power of 5, okay? Very easy to make that mistake. That leads on to the next question. A times a. Yeah, the bases are all the same. We spoke about when the bases are the same, you just add the indices, yeah? So 1 plus 1, 5 times, so it's a to the power of 5. Next one. Question tries to trick us by switching the order of y and x squared, and that's fine. 1x squared y minus 1x squared y is 0. 5 times xy, 5 times 1, there's invisible 1 there. I like to do my numbers first and then I do the letters. Try and write in alphabetical order as well. 12 a fraction now, so I see an a and an a. I divide the top and bottom by a. That process means I just cross it out. Okay, when I cross it out, there's an invisible 1 here. I don't always write it, but next part, 12 and 6. 12 and 6 are both divisible by 6. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 6 divided by 6 is 1. B cannot cross out with anything, so I'm left with 2 times 1 times b. One times 1 on the bottom. I don't usually do this step, but I'll just write it out anyway. Next is, okay, we've got multiplication. I'm going to do the numbers first. Negative 3 times negative 3. Negative times negative is a positive. But please, if you're unsure in an examination, use your calculator. Okay, so you can just put negative 3 times negative 3 times 2, which should give you 18. P, no letter here, times M. Which letter comes first? M. So if you wrote PM, you're not incorrect. We just like to express it in alphabetical order. Next question, 6 plus 8t plus 6t. We collect like terms. This is the only number here, or the only constant, so we cannot add it with anything else. 8t plus 6t. So I'm going to write 6. I'll write 14t first. Plus. Very important to distinguish your t's from your addition signs. I try to curve my t at the bottom to make it look a little bit different. This one here is essentially, as a fraction, that's what it is. Cross out the k's. They can both divide by k. K divided by k is 1. This k divided by k is 1. 3 and 6 are both divisible by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So you're essentially left with 1 over 2. Next one, collecting like terms again. Okay, so if you're unsure, you put a box around or underline or somehow bunch the like terms together. So these two are exactly the same. Remember, I boxed in the negative sign as well, and the negative sign works as a subtraction sign. Negative 4x, take away 3x. That'll give you. Next one, 10, positive 10, 10xy, take away 11. 10, take away 11. Negative 1. We don't write the 1. I'm going to write it as a fraction once again. Two a's, 1a. So maximum I can cross out is 1 from the top and bottom. So I cross out 1 from the bottom, I cross out 1 from the top. So that means I would have to cross out the number. 5 and 5, 5 divided by 5, 5 divided by 5 is 1, yeah? So you can write 1, probably a good idea to write that. It's the same with these letters too, K and K. There's technically a 1 here and a 1. But 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 1 is 2. So this one we have negative 1a. So negative a over 1, which is negative a. So be careful not to just assume that it's 0. Okay, it's 1 there. Next question. 3 times 4, 12. A squared times a squared. Keep the base the same, a and a the same, then 2 plus 2. Next one. Straight away, I see a P and a P. 0, 0. Yeah, you can cross out the zeros, but essentially what we're doing is we're dividing the top and bottom by 10. Okay, 40 divided by 10 is 4, 50 divided by 10 is 5. So essentially you can cross out the zeros. Make it easier. So you're left with 4, nothing else on the top, over 5q. BODMAS, we need to do BODMAS. So 5mn plus 6 times 2 mn. Next. Whoa, this looks really messy. You gotta be careful. N squared. This one is not the same as this because this one, the m is squared. So I will do the box again. Just to help myself. You can use a highlighter and stuff in the exam, but just don't want to waste too much time. -2. Is that the right one? Yes. -2 minus 5. -7. mn squared. 1 minus 4. Next one. A third times a third times a third. Yeah, it looks messy, but there's, thank God there's a 0 at the end. Doesn't matter what this is. This could multiply and become 177 million. Multiplied by 0 would still give you 0. Fully factorize. Okay, fully factorize. So factorize is taking out a common factor. 3 and 9. 3x and 9, both. The common thing about both of them is there's a 3. So you rip out a 3. I like using the concept of ripping it out, but you're taking it out. 3 times what would give me 3x? 3 times what would give me 9? Okay, remember we can expand this to get this answer. Factorizing and expanding are opposite operations. So if I multiply this 3 in, 3 times x is 3x, yep, 3 times 3 is 9, so I know I've got the right answer. Next one, 14 and 22, I can take out a 2, is the highest number I can take out. Well, let's look at letters. X, there's no x here so I can't, but there's both y and z. Then, open my bracket. 2yz times what will give me this? Well, straight away 2 times 7 gives me 14. Yz times what will give me xyz? It's missing an x. Next one. Plus 2 times what will give me 22, 11. And then yz times 1 will give me yz. Yeah. So I don't need to write that. This one, nice habit. I see a negative in front, I'm going to take the negative out as well, in addition to the number. So negative, 15 and 20 are both divisible by 5. I can't take out an x from here, so it's -5 is the highest thing I can take out. Bracket. -5 times x. No, that's not right. -5 times 3x will give me this. -5 times -4. -5 times -4 is 20. Yes, this is a minus sign as well, but for this, just for this part, I'm going to interchange it with and make it a negative. Treat it as a negative, just for this operation, so that when I do -5 times -4, it equals +20. Okay, so the confusing thing is this interchangeable. You can use it as an adjective to describe the 4. It's a -4. Or you can say, treat it like a minus sign, a subtraction sign. So it would be 3x take away 4. 3x minus 4. It works both ways. So I always interchange between the two. Next one is expanding. This is the opposite of this. We have brackets, we need to get rid of the brackets. So if you need to do the arrows, feel free. 3 times x. expand and simplify. So 3 times x, 3 times x plus 3 times 6 equals. This is expanding. Now we need to simplify it. 3 times x is 3x plus 18. Next, we have 12, negative 12d times this. Yes. Maybe I should do the working out for you guys. Okay. Minus this minus. I can do this a few ways. I'm gonna write this minus here. Copy it down. Now I'm gonna write negative 12 times 5. Okay. I didn't write negative 5 because I chose to put the negative here, which is a different way of me doing it. I usually don't do that way. Equals negative 12 times this is negative 48 d squared. Negative and negative make a positive. Okay, straight away. Or you could have covered this negative and did negative 12 times 5 is negative 60d. And then this minus sign and the negative sign from the answer would have made a positive anyway, so it did not really make a difference. Yeah, so these, they're next to each other. Next, we're going to expand. We've got to be careful. This negative 5 is not part of this bracket, so the 2 doesn't get distributed to the 5. So I'm just going to skip the working out. 2 times 6y. 2 times 7. Expand now. So 8 times 6t. 16. Collect like terms. The t's and the t's can go together. 16 take away 7 is 9. T. Don't forget your t. Negative 40 plus 10. Calculator. Once again, okay, I'm not using a calculator. I'm more comfortable. If you are uncomfortable with it, or you're worried you're going to make a mistake in the examination, please use a calculator. I would rather you take time to put it in the calculator, okay, and get it correct than to kind of half guess it and then get it wrong. You waste all that effort, you know, all that working out you did just to get the answer wrong. It is 2 marks, so you want those 2 marks. We're expanding this in 9g. This one a little bit complicated, more complex. 18gh. 9 times that, 27. Okay, this is where we're going to be careful. Negative 3. I'm going to take this negative with it as well. Okay, negative 3g times this, negative 12gh. Negative 3g times positive 5. Okay. Or you can copy the plus down. Let's do a slow way. And then you're like negative 3g times 5 is negative 15g. And then what happens? Plus and minus become minus anyway. You know, so I would have just did straight away negative 3 times positive 5. That would have given me negative 15g. Because we know plus and minus make minus. So you can do that way, but I'm just to say we don't have a lot of working out space. 18gh, take away. This minus belongs to this, okay? 18gh, take away that is 6. 27, take away 15 is 12. Calculator, once again, if you're unsure. Substitution. Evaluate. Substitute and evaluate. Okay, so you can really put it straight into the calculator, and what you do in the calculator, you put negative 4 bracket. What's x? X is 3 plus 3 times negative 1. And you can put that straight in the calculator, and the calculator will give you the answer. It is a 1-mark question, but I'm too lazy to take out my calculator. I'm happy to do it in my head. Negative 12. 3 times that is negative 3. Positive 3 times negative 1. Okay. Hopefully you didn't make a mistake for that. Now next one. 10 take away 2 times, what's x again? 3, negative 1, equals 10, alright, 2 times 3, 6, 6 times negative 1 is what? Jeez, I just want like negative 6. Negative 6 over 3. Negative and negative make positive. But anyway, before we do that, we can just do negative 6 divided by 3. So crossing out, 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Yeah, don't forget the minus carries down. Yeah, you can remember fraction means divide, so 6 divided by 3 is just straight off 2. And then minus minus is plus, so it's 12. Write an algebraic expression in its simplest form for each of the following. The area of a rectangle that is 3k long by 5j. You're looking at that and you're like, whoa, what does that even mean? Draw your triangle. Wait. Did I say triangle or rectangle? Sorry, I meant rectangle. It's 3k long by 5j wide. It doesn't really matter which one is width and which one is the length. We don't know the length. We don't know if 3k is bigger than 5j or not. That's not the point. We want the area. We need to remember area of a rectangle is base times height, or length times width. So it's just this times this. Write an expression in its simplest form. So area equals base times height, or height times base. 3k times 5j. 3 times 5 is 15. K times j is kj, but which one comes first in the alphabet? JK. Yep. Sorry, I had to sing the song for a little bit. Next one. If a is an even number, then write down the next even number. Okay. So, even number. Let's say we start with 2. How does 2 get to the next number? Even number. It adds 2. Okay. And then from here, this number has to add another 2. If you want to think of it like that. So essentially, 2, how does it get to 4? It adds 2. How does 4 get to 6? 4 plus 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. How does 6 get to a? It adds another 2. So each time it's adding 2. A can be any number. It doesn't have to be a particular number. A is any number. If a is an even number, the next number after a, because we're adding 2 each time, so if the number is a, no matter what, my next number should be a plus 2. So if a is 10, the next even number after 10 will be 12. If a is 100, the next even number is 100 plus 2. Okay, next one. You're looking at that question. It's a wow, that is a lengthy question. It's only worth 2 marks. Okay, which is, so you might argue that's unfair. But it's just a formula. Formula for a radius of action of a military plane is this. It's a bunch of letters. And it tells you what each letter stands for. Okay, F is fuel hours, Q is blah blah blah. Use this formula to calculate the radius of action. So that's R. We want R as the answer. So we know for a fact R has to equal something. We were finding that. Which carries enough fuel for 10 hours of flight. So F is the number of fuel hours. It tells us here 10 hours of flight. So R is question mark. We don't know what that is. That's what the question wants. It says use to calculate the radius of action. I'm going to write down what information I have. F equals 10, because the question tells us. What is the next part? The outward ground speed is 460. Outward is this one, Q. Q equals 460. Next one, the homeward ground speed. Homeward, H, yep, is that? It tells us it's in knots, so I don't need to change any units. Not that I would know how to change knots anyway, to whatever we use. That's that. So I've got, now I can just sub it into the formula. R equals, yeah, F 10 times Q 460 times H, which is 340, over Q plus H. All I'm doing is I'm following the formula. I'm substituting it in. Now I'm not. This is hard to do. I'm unable to do that. So use your calculator. which I'm doing now. So press this button there, and just punch it into 10. And it tells you that it's in nautical miles, so you can write NM. I don't really know what the abbreviation for it is, but I'll just write. And that's it.